Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to today's live stream. Happy to have you here. It is Friday. So, first of all, it's great that we get to hang out on a live stream together. And second of all, it's great because it's Friday. It's Friday. Got to get down on Friday, right? As I understand it. So, today we are going to be talking about a little bit of streaming news, cord cutting news. Roku has come out with its what are they calling it? 10.5, OS 10.5. So this is anytime you get a point 0.1 or a 0.5 or whatever, you're not going to get a big leap forward, but you may get some incremental changes, and that's kind of what Roku did. They did put in some changes that I like, though, and so we're going to talk about those today a little bit, as well as some other streaming news. So anyway, glad to have you here with us today. If you are watching this later on and you're not watching this live, totally fine. But we would love to have you here. So whenever you can, would love to have you just pop in, join us live, throw in a comment or two, much like some folks have been doing already. So, Arcelia Gutierrez, good morning. Nice to see you. Technological Penguin would like a shout out. So, Technological Penguin, shout out to you. Finally, they say, finally. I don't know if that was in reference to the shout out or if it's like, finally, I'm live. Yeah, it took me an extra second or two because you guys, I figured out something today. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I was kind of trying to let you peek over my shoulder. Well, now if you look right underneath the TV, there's a laptop that's mirroring that screen. So now I can do this. I can go like this. So now you can actually see what I'm doing on my television screen, which I'm really looking forward to. I hope it helps the stream today as we talk about Roku OS 10.5. Okay. So, oops. Yeah. So now that we're getting things started, well, let me say hello to some others. Sylvia, who I believe was a winner recently. Shoaib, hello. Kirk. That's a new name. I don't know if I've seen you on the stream, so welcome. Astro Josh, William Mack, you guys are regulars here. So, all right. Morning from the Pacific Northwest. Hello. Hello to my former home and always my home in my heart. You know what's funny is I lived in France for a while, and even there, the Northwest was always where I wanted to be. I wanted to be rainy, I want it to be gray, and I want it to be green. And so, yeah, it really carried over for me. All right. So, William Mack says, love 10.5. So that's what we're going to be starting with today, talking about 10.5. What I'm going to do is we won't be able to talk about everything just because I don't have a screen share for the mobile app going at this point, just the streaming app over here. And I am going to be probably limited in my time that I'll be able to talk about it. So we'll be doing this screen share that I showed you a moment ago. We're going to be talking about the new buttons, the new capabilities, but I'm only going to go for, I go for an hour. Today I'm going to try to limit myself to 30 to 45 minutes just because I really messed up my shoulder and I don't know how. So if there are any orthopedic surgeons here in the chat, please let me know. But I'm going to go in and get it checked out early next week. But for now, I'm in some measure of pain. Okay, we're streaming through the pain, people. But it'll be fine. But yeah, I do want to limit how much activity I'm doing. So, okay, where was I? 10.5. So yeah, what we're gonna do. Sorry, I mentioned I'm only gonna be streaming for a little while. I do get to show you my screen here, but I also have on Roku's blog, I've got their list of updates that they made. And so I'm just going to kind of go through that list and we'll see which ones we can talk about here on the screen and get your opinions on them. Before we get to all that, let me remind you of, I have to use this hand. I can no longer use my right hand because I can't raise it. So the weekly giveaways, reviews.org/giveaways. We did, let's see, what was it? Oh gosh. Okay. No, we're going there. we did a giveaway last week. I think it lasted 2 weeks. And we do have a winner for this one. That's right. It is a 1-year Disney Plus subscription. And as I've told you guys before, if you're already a Disney Plus subscriber, you could still have entered this giveaway. And this will be important in a minute because we're going to do another one. But the winner for this one is Kamar Mara. I hope I'm saying that right. But Kamar Mara, I hope you're here with us today on the stream. If not, that's okay. We're going to be emailing Kamar and hooking them up with the Disney Plus subscription. And this week, if you go over to reviews.org/giveaways, we're doing a very similar thing, but in this case, it's Netflix. So again, you already have Netflix. If you don't, then great, you're eligible for a 1-year subscription. If you do, you should still go enter the giveaway because we will still hook you up with something equivalent. I think what it does, I think it is a Netflix gift card, but what we do is give you the Netflix gift card, and then you can kind of input that as your payment option or like load it into your account, and so it gives you Netflix for free, even if you've already got it. If I remember correctly how it works. So anyway, my point just being, don't worry, if you've already got Netflix, you can still get hooked up with this giveaway. So go to reviews.org. There it is, reviews.org/giveaways, and check it out. All right, so let's see. Hello, Frayden. Nice to see you. Kirk is impressed by my techno wizardry. Yeah, it did take a little bit of doing, if I'm being honest. But I really wanted a better option than like just turning my webcam, zooming in, whatever. Sylvia, you won. Didn't you win something a while ago? Maybe I'm mistaking you for somebody else, but yeah, this was a while ago. I thought you won something, but if not, maybe you can win this one. All right. Shoaib Hassan, no, I don't have Netflix. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. It's always incredible. I'm going to guess you had Netflix at some point and then got rid of it. Am I right? Okay, let's go ahead and hide that overlay. So, so you guys can get an unobstructed view into my somewhat messy studio. We've got one of the cameras here. This is where I do like some product shots on this little shelf right here, just kind of sitting up on the sawhorses. Okay, so with that being said, let's talk about Roku OS 10.5. All right, so here's what Roku says. It offers easy access to content, new mobile features, and expanded surround sound capabilities. That's going to be pretty cool. Not that we'll be able to really show how cool that is here, but we'll talk more about that. So they say the new features like putting live TV front and center on Roku streaming players, tips to help you get the most out of Roku Voice, new speaker configurations, more voice control options, and updates to the Roku mobile app features. So we're not going to be able to talk about the mobile app features as much today. I mean, we can talk about what they are, but I won't be able to like put them on screen so easily. But let's talk about some of the other things. So, let's get rid of that. There we go. Oops, there we go. Yeah, Craig is always right. That's what I wanted to see. Kirk's got the right idea here. Sylvia, yeah, sorry, I was mistaken. I must have been thinking of somebody else. I apologize, but I hope you do win because Sylvia, I know you've been hanging out on these live streams for a little while, and sometimes it's a regular who wins, and sometimes it's like a brand new person who wins these giveaways. Either way, I'm happy for who wins, but I do love it when the regulars get their names pulled out of the hat. So I hope you win. I hope you go enter, and I hope you win. Okay, so Shoaib asks, before we get into 10.5, is YouTube TV back on Roku? Well, I don't believe it is. I certainly haven't heard that it is, but we can check. Oops. There is a little bit of a lag, so like with the screen share, so this is going to be a little tough for me. Okay, let's go to search channels. And the Y is right there. Oh, let's leave that. Oh, not that one. Let's leave this one up here. Where am I? YouTube. Nope. If it were, it would show it right there. But right now it's just on YouTube. So for those of you who are unfamiliar, if you go into YouTube, you can still get to YouTube TV. It's just a little more annoying now than it used to be. You can still do it. You just pop over here, scroll. Oh, sorry, show up. We got to get rid of you there. Scroll all the way down to the bottom, and YouTube TV is right there. So then you go to YouTube TV, whatever, and then it just plays within the YouTube app. So it is possible to get to it. It just no, it is not quite on the streaming channel menu yet. I believe, if I recall correctly, the contract between Roku and the YouTube channel, or the YouTube app, I should say. So what we were just in, the regular YouTube app, that contract expires in December. And unless I'm totally nuts, and it's possible, but even if I'm nuts, I'm always right. They've got until then to figure out the YouTube TV thing. And my guess would be that Google will kind of make that a package deal. It's like, hey, you want the YouTube app, you got to have YouTube TV as well, as an app option. And Roku will finally say, okay, fine, we can't not have YouTube on our system. So that's my guess. That's what I think is going to happen. All right. So let's talk about some of the updates. Live TV channel guide for Roku streaming players. We can see that right here. Live TV on Roku channel. Now, you could what you could do before is go into the Roku channel, and go down here. Boy, that was a nice ad right up top. Go right here to Live TV. And if you do that, it opens up your Live TV on Roku channel. And it's like I've talked about these in other videos before, and how these channels work. And they're not the regular cable channels or whatever. So like Reuters News, I don't know if that's on any cable channels, whatever. The Young Turks, Now This, whatever. OAN. Yeah, the stuff that's a little bit off the beaten path. But that being said, there is a lot of really good stuff on these live TV services. It's a bit like Pluto TV, right? So you're not going to get AMC, but you might get AMC Presents, and maybe they do some AMC reruns on there or something like that. So that's the kind of thing you'll find on here. So now they essentially took that and said, okay, well, apparently a lot of people are really enjoying this feature on the Roku channel, so they just grabbed it, pulled it out, and put a shortcut right here. So if we hit Live TV, what do you know? It's the same thing. It's just outside the Roku app. They just pulled the exact same thing out. So in fact, you can see the channel listing is the same. It's the exact same thing. So that could be good. In fact, I'd be curious to see a show of digital hands. Hit the comments. Let me know if you're somebody who takes advantage of live TV in your streaming habits. I've left it behind. I don't really do live TV outside of sports anymore. If there's a news event going on, I usually just like pop into YouTube and catch a live stream there. But yeah, I don't really do this live thing as much now. But I know that I'm in the minority there overall. Maybe not in this chat, but I know I'm kind of in the minority. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, no, I know, like for some people, TV is as much about having noise going on as it is about really watching something. And so like my mom, for instance, I know loves to just kind of have something on in the background, whether it's like a news program or a Law and Order rerun or something, just have something on in the background. Let's go ahead and get rid of that so I'm not showing any copyrighted content by accident. Anyway, so yeah, you've got that now. Next up, Roku Voice. We have expanded the number of channels that support Roku voice commands to start streaming content. Now, nearly any channel in Roku search supports the feature, including Netflix and Spotify. Okay, so what this is telling you, as far as I can tell, is like if you know. Let's see. Okay, so let's see if I can figure out how to do this. Support voice commands to start streaming content. So, you know what? In fact, we're going to wait on that, because one thing that I know you can do. Where is it? There we go. Roku Voice Help. I actually really like this. This is pretty cool. So if we pop back in here, Roku Voice Help is in the settings menu. Let's see. Am I right? Yeah, I think it's in the settings menu under. Is it under system? Oh, voice help. There we go. It's under help, voice help. If we click on that, let's see where it takes us. Okay. How to use voice. Things to try. Searching movies and TV shows, launching a channel, playing music, control playback. So it used to be basically like voice, it was voice search. But then you had competitors like Fire TV coming out, and it's like, no, this is a full on Echo device almost. And so you can ask to do anything, and you could do that with Siri on Apple. You could do that with, Google devices on Chromecast. And they were capable of voice commands. Well, Roku has really lagged behind with that. It was mostly just like voice search. But now you can do other things. So let's see. Press and hold the microphone button while speaking. Okay, that's pretty clear. And then search movies and TV shows. Okay, so you can browse franchises, search for an actor. Great. Launch a channel. Okay, and then this is where I get a little bit like, okay, great, but so what? So, in fact, you know what I'll do is, we'll finish this out. You can play music. As they're showing you here, you can do something specific like Katy Perry or the Joshua Tree. Okay, or something genre-wise like jazz. Let's see, control playback. Okay, this is pretty cool. I like this. TV power and volume. That's good. What I wish voice search could do, or voice commands could do, is navigate. And I don't believe that is running just yet. In fact, I don't think many of them do it. So the browsing is difficult with when you're doing it just with your voice, but you can issue some commands still. So let's see. How about play Squid Game? Okay, I'm getting ready to take this off the screen real fast. See, playing Squid Game on Netflix. It just pulls Netflix right up. It opens my profile, and there it goes. Okay, I can't show you that. Okay. Oh, if you haven't watched Squid Game yet, and I haven't, I just know it's really popular, then go check it out, right? Okay, so anyway, you can do that. Now you can play this title. So that one was on Netflix. What if I say, play Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone? Just because I know that one just hit HBO, didn't it? Uh-oh. Okay, so it doesn't work perfectly. Oh, what do they say? They deliberately highlighted Netflix and Spotify, but they said now nearly any channel in Roku search supports the feature. Interesting. Okay. So Prime Video, or not Prime Video, HBO Max looks like it may not be in Roku search yet. Oh gosh, did I miss that at some point? Don't love that. They really ought to have HBO Max in there. That's too bad. Well, we know Prime Video is in there. So how about play Chuck? Let's see what happens here, because that's a pretty ambiguous one. Okay. So it does pull up Prime Video. We saw that one appeared in the search. It is available. And I'm not signed in, so it's not actually going to start playing it. Dang it. That's too bad. But, it's good that we don't have to worry about the copyrighted content, right? So, okay, good. So now you can do more things with your voice commands. That's good. Let's see. Roku search music and podcasts row. Oh, this should be interesting. All right. Let's see. Somebody give me a podcast to search for. I was going to search my own, but that seemed a little self-centered. So somebody give me what's a podcast you're listening to right now that would be popular, and that Roku will understand. Let's see. What do you guys got? Let's movie schmovie podcast. I wonder if it'll understand schmovie. Let's find out. Movie schmovie. That's such a good one. Results from YouTube. No, not so much. That was a good one. Bill Burr. Okay. That's a good one. Bill Burr. Because he appears in shows, he does podcasts, he's got all sorts of stuff. Okay, so we've got his movies and TV shows. That's great. We've got free stuff included. Well, there's HBO Max. Come on, why wasn't HBO Max showing up before? Let's see. Netflix subscription, Paramount Plus, buy rent, subscribe. Results from YouTube. It's not showing up here. Let's see. TCM podcast. So what happens if we put podcast in the... no, I would not like to install it. No. Okay. Do they save your voice search like Fire TV? That's a great question. Probably. Yeah, probably. I don't know. So I would be happy to learn that it's not the case, but they all save your voice searches at least for some amount of time. But that's a great question, Sylvia. Okay, so what if I try? All right, movie schmovie podcast. Let's see what happens. Sorry, that's not yet supported. Okay, all right. So let's see what happens if I do. Let's see. What's the hardcore history? Because I know that's a podcast, right? Okay, so we got results from YouTube, movies. Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna have to do a little more digging. If you guys find out what's going on with, let's see, what's provides a more integrated music experience across the Roku platform with the introductions of voice search and playback of music, podcasts, and video podcasts. You'll now see search results within a more visual music and podcasts row, and will feature Spotify as the launch partner with over 70 million tracks and podcasts available. So maybe we need to search something that is available on Spotify. So let's see. How about this one? Because I know this one's on Spotify. The Sub Beacon podcast. This is pop culture that I do listen to sometimes. Okay, so it just pulls it up on Spotify. All right, well, that's good. All right, well, that's a thing that apparently is happening. All right. If you are still waiting for 10.5 on Roku Stream Bar, I assume it'll be out pretty soon if it's not there already. I thought that they were on it, but maybe not just yet. Okay. So let's see. What's the other thing that I wanted to talk about? Oh, yeah, enhancements to voice entry for email, password, and PIN for on-screen keyboards. And this is something that, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's taken them this long to institute. Let's go down to YouTube. Okay. So now, when I go to type something in, instead of having to do it, I can do it just like Apple TV was doing 5 years ago. Roku's finally got this now. So I can say, sorry, Frayden. Sorry, really quick. Want to say this? Not on my Roku TV yet either. I'm the same. I'm actually running this on a Roku TV, but I have a Roku Ultra plugged into it that does have 10.5. That's how I had to do the screen share because I can't do a screen share direct from the TV. So, okay, what was I? Let's see. Instead of typing in Reviews.org, how about we do REVIEWS.org. Look at that. Who's that handsome devil? All right. So yeah, now we've got the channel pulls up and some recent stuff. So yeah, that's great. So yeah, now you don't have to go through all the process of entering your email address using the remote, your passwords, your pins, your searches. Sometimes like you'd love to be able to just search it, but it doesn't always work that way, right? Sometimes it'll take you out of the app, right? So now you can go one letter at a time and just type it out that way. An eclectic search history. I'm not actually signed in here, so I don't think that was my search history. I could, that's not my search history. YouTube, Fox News, Monster Trucks, Zig and Shark. I have no idea I know what Dota 2 is. I've never played Dota, but and I know I'm familiar with the words here. I did try this earlier with my other channel, so I knew it would work. Anyway, so yeah, there you go. Okay, so other things that it's going to do. Oh, that's right. They did mention surround sound. So if you're on a Roku, you've got Roku speakers. Maybe you got a Roku soundbar. If you subwoofer, they've got a Roku subwoofer. These things only actually work with Roku TVs, which kind of sucks. But they did increase their support for them now, so that you can come in here to the audio, and it kind of set up. Oh, sorry, my shoulder's killing me. You can set up you can set up two speakers now to be front facing as part of surround sound. It used to be that Roku speakers, as part of like a 3.1 surround sound system, could only work if they were rear speakers. But now you can do this. So now you can essentially set up like a 5.1 surround with only Roku audio products, which that's pretty nice if you're really into that. And I know for the last year and a half, a lot of us have been avoiding movie theaters and doing a lot of our movie stuff at home. And so if that's the case for you, then setting up a really good sound system is a very good idea. Let's see. All right. They've also got some additional features. In fact, let me see if I can share a screen here so we can all kind of have a look at this. There we go. So, there we go. Yeah. All right. So let's see if I can zoom in on this at all. Make it a little easier to see. Mobile private listening for streaming players. So let's see. The sync feature. Basically, what was happening with this is, like on the mobile app, you might be familiar with the Roku Ultra. They've got a headphone jack in the remote, which is pretty cool. But if you didn't have an Ultra, you could do the same kind of thing just by plugging into your phone, and then using the private listening mode on that. But they would sometimes, depending on the headphones and depending on the phones, the sound would be out of sync. The audio would not sync with the video, and so they kind of just fixed that basically. We talked about the speaker configurations, Roku Voice help. We talked about that as well. So yeah, that ought to do it, honestly. As far as Roku 10.5, I may dig a little bit deeper into that and do a video on it. I'm not sure. I'm a little bit late to the party, so those are the kind of videos that usually you want to get out day of, and I didn't do it, partly just because, like I said at the beginning, anytime you have a 0.5 or a 0.1 or something like that, so Roku OS 10.5 usually means you're not going to see any earth-shattering, mind-altering changes. If they do some of those things, then it'll probably be called OS 11. Now, what should they do? This I would love to hear your suggestions. If you hit the chat over on the right, let me know what you think Roku should do when they finally get around to OS 11. And I'll tell you my number one. So we've got the tiles over here, and I've said this before, so I apologize if any of you have already heard me soapbox on this. But I think what they need to do is go over here to this left-hand menu where they've got featured free, they've got my feed, they've got movie store and all that. They need to have more of a Fire TV, Google TV setup with suggestions. Basically, they need to start pulling in the content so that you can browse through content, as well as just the apps. So if you already, if you have your favorite apps, you're like, you know what, I really just use Netflix, or I'm in Prime Video all the time, or I constantly play Tetris. What? Okay, I haven't deleted that yet. But if you're always going into Hulu constantly, then it's fine. You just turn on your Roku, you pop over to Hulu. But if you turn on your TV and you maybe you enjoy scrolling through Netflix and seeing the titles, and you'd like to do that with all the titles from all of your streaming services kind of pulled into a central location, like you get with especially Google TV. That's probably the best place for it. But to a limited extent, you get that with Fire TV as well, and Apple TV. And so, I think Roku needs to do that with their menu on the left. I don't want the home menu to leave. I like this for what it is, but it is a little bit outdated these days. And so I'd like to see them add something under home for suggested viewing or something like that. So get YouTube TV back. Let's see. Lisa, are you seeing my question? I didn't see your question. I apologize. I know I missed a bunch when I was kind of on a roll here. So how much is this? How much is what? Um, let me see if I missed you somewhere else along the line. I apologize. I can't always keep track perfectly of what's going on in the chat. So how much is this? Well, it depends on which one you get. I assume you're talking about like how much is the Roku itself, and that depends on the device. You can get a $25 or $30 Roku Express, or you can get let's see, the speakers. You probably spend like $200 or not the speakers, the sound bar. You can get a Roku sound bar for like $150 or something like that. Anyway, they range. So I don't know exactly what you mean when you say how much is this, but that's my best guess. So yeah, now ask the question again, and I will be happy to answer it if I can. So with that being said, let me pop over somewhere else just a moment. Oh, that's right. I remember something I wanted to ask you guys about. Okay, let's get rid of that for just a moment because I've got a question for you. All right. So this is coming from Tamara Hepburn over at cordcuttersnews.com. It's a good site for keeping track of some of the minutia that goes on in the cord cutting world. And this headline is Netflix is seeing more new users over 45 than younger age groups. So it used to be that streaming was the purview of the young, right? Them old people were clinging to their cable TV with a death grip. I mean, it was always a little bit baloney, the storyline, but there's probably some grain of truth to it somewhere. But now that streaming is ubiquitous, and Netflix especially is ubiquitous, it's a bit like it's the Facebook of streaming, right? We all were on Facebook when we were like teenagers and young adults, and we thought it was the coolest thing ever. 15 years ago, whatever it was, I don't know, not quite that long, 10, 12 years ago. And then, it's like, oh, well, now my grandma's on Facebook, so I'm out of here. I'm heading over to Instagram. I'm going to TikTok now, whatever the case may be. And so I'm curious what your experience is with this. Do you, sorry, getting back to, I do want to make sure I answer this. This isn't different than standard Roku. Nope, this is regular Roku. It's just an update to their operating system. That's all. So anyway, so yeah, I am curious if you fall into this boat. I am a Netflix subscriber, have been since basically the beginning. In fact, I got the DVDs before streaming was ever a thing. Like I binge watched 24. Back when 24 was on and was really popular, I was binge watching 24 by getting DVDs in the mail constantly. So anyway, so yeah, what's your experience with this sort of thing? So if I show you this one, let's pull it up here. Let's see, more new users over 45 than younger age groups, and I wonder what this means long term for Netflix. So let's see what the chart here. This apparently from Ampere Analysis. USA percentage of age group who are Netflix subscribers. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. 18 to 24. It should be this line right here. There's like 80. Oh my gosh, 80%. Oh, okay, 80% of 18 to 24-year-olds in the US are Netflix subscribers. So 2 years ago, it was at 80%, and now it's down to 70. So I wonder how much of that is just people aging out and they're not pulling in new young people. I don't know. But yeah, okay. So we'll get to some of that stuff in a bit. But let's see what's coming up right here. 45 to 54. This line is jumping from what's that, about 64 up to 67 maybe. Yeah. Anyway, so some pretty interesting charts. Let's see. The kids moved to Quibi. Oh boy. I think that was Quibi's. That was definitely the idea, right? It's like there's a ripe market full of youngins on their phones all day. We'll just do phone content. Oh, Quibi, sweet Quibi. Let's see. Okay, so part of the reasoning behind the decline in younger viewers is something analysts are attributing to a return to out-of-home entertainment, as almost half the moviegoers this quarter were under 35. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, so possibly the older generations are like, wait, why am I going to the movies? Why am I paying $20, for a movie ticket, and then another 15 for popcorn and a drink, when I can just stay home with my sweet new surround sound setup and watch it on 65 inches. So yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff. So yeah, you guys should go check it out. I use Cord Cutters News a fair bit, and I do like them. So you can go check out their website. Of course, if you're going to do that, you should also go check out Reviews.org for all of your Reviews.orging needs. All right. So let's see what you guys got. They're all watching on YouTube like us. Hey, I definitely like when as recently as like 3 or 4 years ago. And this is like after I started making YouTube videos, right? So we've been doing this channel for 5.5 years now. Like I've been making YouTube videos for a while, and I would use YouTube. I tell the story sometimes of having to change the headlight on my 2003 Hyundai Elantra, and it had a weird mechanism, and I couldn't figure it out. And so I used YouTube to figure it out. And YouTube has always been great for that, but I definitely have found myself the last few years coming to YouTube as a source of entertainment, like I would Netflix or Hulu or Prime Video or HBO Max or whatever. YouTube is on that list. And obviously there's just mountains of garbage to wade through before you get to the good stuff. But when you get to the good stuff, something that's really good and user generated, it's so much fun. So yeah, hey, I'm with you, Andy. Let's see. On my lonely Roku Express without voice remote, William says he had to do a factory reset to get 10.5. Interesting. With the Roku Express, I think I'm trying to remember if the regular Roku Express can do it. I know the Roku Express Plus can get the enhanced remote, but I don't know if you can buy if you can buy a voice remote and then just hook that up to your Roku Express. I can't remember, but maybe you can. Let's see. Aviar says, I haven't used Netflix in many, many years, but a total cord cutter streaming 100% of TV viewing on 130-inch projector TV. That's how you do it. Nice. Well done. I don't like going to the movies. Listen, meaning no offense, I am genuinely curious. How old are you? And were movies a part of your life growing up? Did you go to the movies a lot, or was that not a thing that your family did or something? So yeah, I'm curious. Tell me a little bit more about that. And thanks for hanging out on Facebook. I know the majority of our viewers are on YouTube, but it's nice to have the Facebookers here too. Let's see. So Alyssa says she's 48. Okay. So yeah, 48 years old. Don't like going to the movies. Yeah, I guess that tracks. I still love going to the movies. I'm in my mid 30s. And for me, I've got, so part of it is I've got young kids. And anybody who has or has had young kids knows that they can be a handful after a while. So sometimes it's just like, I got to get out of here. So 2 hours, dark room, no distractions, just watching a movie. Fantastic. So I do still like going to the movies. Does Roku have an MPU player or an M3U player? I don't know what that is. An M3U player. So I don't know. This is nice. I love this. Sometimes when my mom will ask about a movie that's on another streaming service, say HBO Max, for example, I have to start my response with, it's like Netflix, but HBO. Like, that's perfect. Because that's like the Netflix menu, the Netflix formula, the Netflix recommendation algorithm. It's all like that is the basis for how we understand streaming across so many different channels, so many apps. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I've done the same thing. In fact, I think I did the same thing on this stream at some point. I seem to remember saying something along those lines. Um, you don't watch all the flat Earth videos, you know. I don't, and I don't mean to ever make too much fun, because you know, uh, belief systems are belief systems, and I do try hard to be pretty respectful generally. Flat Earthism is that's a funnier one, um, to some extent, but you guys get YouTube ads, and I'm sure that when you're watching our channel, you never skip the 15-second ads so that you can increase our revenue per view, right? You never skip our anyway. You get those ads. Sometimes they're 15 seconds long and they're skippable. Sometimes they're 6 and they're unskippable. And then sometimes you get like a full-on 2-minute video, 5-minute video, something that is a skippable ad, but it's basically just a YouTube video. And I get those sometimes for the I can't remember the name of the group that's like alien civilizations are here. They're imparting their wisdom, and they have these really really slick ads that they put out. These like 2 or 3 minute ads, and I'll admit I watch those because they're really well done and pretty entertaining. So so there you go. Oh, this is interesting, Sylvia. There's so much content on streaming without paying Netflix prices. Yeah, and this is why every like 6 to 8 months I put out a top 10 free Roku channels or Fire TV channels or Apple TV channels or whatever. And that's kind of how I start many of those videos, is basically by saying like, look, you cut the cord, great. You can sign up for all these paid services if you want to. And if you don't, there's a bajillion hours of free content out there for you. You never have to pay for anything else if you don't want to. I think you do miss out on some of the premium stuff, and you do miss out on some of the zeitgeist. But yeah, honestly, just like you say, Sylvia, there is so much content without paying Netflix prices. So yeah, even if it's what, Disney Plus for $8, like that's not 15 for Roku. So there you go, or 14, whatever it is. Let's see. Oh, I know I'm missing a bunch of comments. So I apologize if I'm missing your stuff. Liam from London. Hey, say you love this channel. Well, this channel loves you back, Liam. The channel is very appreciative that you're here. The channel thanks you for your presence. Let's see. Okay, so we got a Roku request here from Frayden. Okay, maybe not a huge request, but I really wish Roku would come out with more background themes. That boring plain red gets old after a while. You know, I hear you. Okay, let's go back to our home screen. So we're going to put this back on screen. Go to settings. I want theme. So we've got the default theme pack. And let's see. So yeah, there are things you can do. Yeah, so you can set it to space. My big problem with this, like it's okay, kind of fun. Okay, Western. Let's do the Western theme pack. Oh, okay. I guess we have to get it. Oh, geez. I don't want you guys to see my pin. Get out of here. But it would. I'm glad you can't see this. It would let me do that by voice. So as we were talking about earlier, that is a possibility. Okay, so we've got the Western wallpaper, we've got the theme pack, blah blah blah. Okay, so we're adding it in here, and then I'll tell you what my problem is with this in just a moment, because I'm with you, Frayden. Like the red gets old after a while. I'm with you. Okay, so we're gonna set that theme pack. There we go. So now everything is a Western theme. Let's see if it does anything different with the sound. Yeah, I don't hear anything. Anyway, so yeah, kind of fun. You can set the theme. So here's my problem with this. is I change my theme every so often because, like you say, the red gets old after a while. And then Roku just changes it for me sometimes. So, a lot of times it'll be around a holiday or an event. And so help me, I just, I cannot stand it when I log in and it's like, look, I had my baseball theme because it was April, and then Easter came along, and you decided no, you need an Easter theme. I'm like, no, I wanted my baseball theme. Thank you. And so I really hate that they automatically change things for you. That's my one big gripe. Yeah, really, really gets me worked up. So, have I seen the 30-minute ads on YouTube? I don't think I've ever seen a 30-minute ad. That would be pretty incredible. Okay. Liam's got YouTube Premium. Now we're talking. Okay, so you're a YouTube power user. I'll be honest with you. I don't even have YouTube Premium. So many of the ads are skippable. I just don't really care. But I will say this. When I was, let's see, there it is. Yeah, Spotify. So when my wife was getting ready to deliver our first child, she was like, I need a push playlist, right? It's this whole thing. So you have some music going on during labor. And I was like, all right, put together a push playlist. So we had Spotify, but then I realized if I just let it run, then she'd be in the middle of labor and it'd be like a used car ad or something. And so this was back in 2013. I was like, all right, I'll pay for Spotify Premium, thinking like, yeah, okay, so I'll pay for this for a while so we don't have any ads while she's in labor. Okay, this is good. This is a good idea. And it's been 8 years now and I've never looked back. I can't believe I ever listened to Spotify with ads. It just it blows my mind. And I wonder, my whole point of sharing this story is I wonder what would happen if I went YouTube Premium and didn't see all these ads anymore. If I'd just be like, how did I ever live the other way? Could be. So yeah, I guess it's up to you guys to convince me. Jacob's in the same boat. Have YouTube Premium, so don't watch ads. There you go. Oh, that's funny. Andy's on the same boat. Wow, you guys are all like YouTube power users. This is fantastic. I love it. Yeah, you can turn off the holiday themes. I know you can. They shouldn't be there in the first place. Or like they should be available. So if I'm somebody who loves Halloween, like October 1st rolls around, go turn on my Halloween theme. But I don't want them to do that for me or to me automatically. So let's see. You have to have sounds enabled. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, somebody's teaching me things about my Roku. Let's go to theme. Oh, where was that sound come? I just heard a sound. Oh well, that's funny. Okay, well, I know it is working, but oh well. Okay. Oh, all right. Push It should have been at the top of that playlist. Nice. Ads and music apps are so annoying. Yeah, I think a lot of that is because, when you're in a visual medium, you can do certain things to snag people's attention visually. But when it's an audio only medium, and this goes back, to when we were all listening to FM radio and AM radio back in the days, you don't have anything other than the audio to grab people's attention. And so essentially the strategy was make your commercials as annoying as possible so that people pay attention to them. So it's like, even if you hate them, at least you listened, at least you heard what was going on. Anyway, so yeah, I'm with you. The ads and music apps are annoying. Yep. All right, you guys. Oh gosh, it's already been 50 minutes. My shoulder's killing me. I'm going to go take a painkiller. And I've got an appointment for early next week to go get it looked at. But for now, we're gonna leave this behind. I will remind you to go to the weekly giveaways page, reviews.org/giveaways. I'll also remind you that the winner of this week's giveaway was Kamar Mara. And so that person, hopefully Kamar is on the chat. We'll be emailing Kamar about that. But there are, that was a 1-year Disney Plus subscription. This time it's a 1-year Netflix subscription, or the gift card. They do Netflix gift cards. And so whether or not you have Netflix, you can win this, and you should try. You should try. So go get your name in there, reviews.org/giveaways, and we'll get you 1 year worth of Netflix on us as a thank you for not just joining in these live streams, but for supporting the channel generally. I hope you guys are watching throughout the week, not just my videos, but the others' videos as well. We've got Tashaka doing mobile stuff. His videos are amazing, by the way. So if you need phone reviews, you want to see what the iPhone 13 camera is capable of doing with its macro photography, it's stuff like that. His videos are so good. And I'm convinced, well, I have thoughts on why they don't get quite as much play in the YouTube algorithm as they do. But you can all help with that. Go check out his mobile reviews, Steve's home security, smart home stuff. Go check out Juan's videos on internet related stuff, routers and services and all that internet stuff. Anyway, go check them out and just do me a favor. When those videos come across your feed, pop in, like them, watch them for a couple minutes, see if you like them. And those likes, the subscribes, the likes, the shares, especially shares. Oh my gosh, go share them on YouTube, go share them on, or not YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, on whatever. Share our content, and it helps get it in front of more eyeballs. And we would love to have your help with that, and would really appreciate it. So anyway, thanks everybody. Liam, I am glad you came in today. It was great to see you. Yes, we are very US centric, because I don't know what the heck is going on across the pond with your guys' streaming stuff, because it's hard enough to keep track of this stuff over here. But that being said, I love having anybody in here who has a good time. So hopefully you did. And thanks to the rest of you as well. I will see you next week. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.